Yo, guys. I said I would do a recap over the three good trades I took earlier this week, um, just to sort of show you a little bit more how to trade. Like, I guess someone described it as high momentum markets, right? Now, the main thing we want to remember is that structure is structure, right? It's valid until it's not valid, right? And then you just trade the other direction. So like we want to try and think about these like bigger picture structural plays, right? So if we're looking at this, like just zooming out, we've had this big push here, right? We've had this push here, right? We've now pulled back, taken out demand here, right? So what's the next expectation? Well, the next expectation is that the trend is not bullish. The trend is bearish. We will make a lower high, right? So one of the important things is to just not focus on reversals, right? So then if we actually start going down to the 4 hour and we can like break this down a little bit, right? We get, like we're just making a series of lower highs at the moment, right? So we've got this 4H boss here, right? This one here, right? So what's the next expectation? Well, the next expectation is that we break this low because this high is well formed and is strong, right? And just don't change that idea, right? Like literally, this high is strong. It broke swing structure. It ran liquidity. It formed well. It has reacted to the extreme. Do not try to long this, right? It's just going to end up in tiny little trades that get you trapped on the wrong side of the market, right? Right, what else have we happened? Well, the other thing that has happened is we've reacted to this demand and we've failed to put in a new high, right? So most likely now, this goes as well. Right, on daily, this didn't break swing structure. Swing structure's up here. We failed to close above the low's weak, right? So just don't get trapped in this idea that because there's demand levels over here, it has to react, right? Like it's bearish. Structure is bearish. Trade the structure, right? Then we can go down onto like 15M and we can just start seeing again how we're playing out, right? Let's fast forward it through to Monday morning. Which is somewhere around here, right? Cool. So is any of the demand in this leg valid? Not really, right? Look, we've had like, I would hesitate to call this swing structure, but we've had a break of structure over here, right? We've followed that on with another break of structure here. Right, and then we followed that on with another break of structure here. So our 15M structure, right, is aligned with 4 hour, aligned with daily. Don't buy it, right? I'm going to keep saying this because seriously, it's an important thing, right? We come up into here. Okay, fine, we don't mitigate anything here, but we've got this whole previous range, right? Like this is like a whole previous supply range, basically, right? So yeah, okay, we have not mitigated anything specific in here, right? Like we haven't come to this, right? But what do? Right, well, currently we've had this little change of character here, right? We've taken out this high, we've taken out this high, right? We formed a low high, but if demand goes, don't give me that. If demand goes, right? Then, like supply's in control again, right? We've got this demand chain here. Where is it? Sorry, we've got like this to this to this, right? This breaks a high, so this is our last demand area. If this goes, this whole thing is collapsing, right? All we've had is impulse, correction, impulse. That's what we're looking at, right? So yeah, again, just don't look for buys, right? Cool, this goes, right? We get a move to the downside, right? That creates another lower high, right? So now what's the expectation? Well, the expectation is still that the low is weak, right? and the low is getting taken, we've seen a lower high in the market now, right? We've got this high, this low, to this high, to this low, to this high, right? Again, we've got a whole other previous supply range, right? So just look for this whole range to be mitigated, right? And then if there's a shift in order flow, ideally, yes, it comes into something specific, like this, right? This is a beautiful area. Look, engulfed, buy to sell, right? Flips this area over here. Supply, right? This is just like textbook for me, right? Like this is like, there's why, like, people are going, oh, but there's equal highs, there's this, there's that in the way, right? Doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter until this high breaks. Structure, supply, whatever you want to call it, is still bearish, right? Trade to the lows, right? And then cool, now we can, you know, do the whole refining thing, right? If we're looking at this on 1M, here's the low of the 15M candle, this here, right? We know that because that's 8.15, that's 8.30, so we're taking this low to this high, right? So this isn't valid. So what have we got that's valid in here? Well, we have the extreme, right? And we have the decision. Both valid, both break something. The decision flips this time. Really nice looking candle. Yeah. So we've got these two areas that we can trade from. And again, we just zoom out, right? Because everyone's thinking, oh, but it's broken 1 minute structure here, right? It's going to moon. No, it's not, right? It has formed a lower high. It is going to most likely 85% of the time, something like that, it is going to form another lower high. So look for the lower high, right? Then we can just play price forward, right? What do we do on the way up? Well, we form big areas of liquidity here, right? We form more equal highs here. Equals here, equals up here, right? Equals to target down here, a weak low that's liquidity. Right, yeah, okay, we've had a big reaction off of here, but still, there's just buying. It's just silly, like it really is, right? I took this trade on 5S. I saw it react to this. I saw this as an area that took liquidity and gave a reaction. So, like, my whole theory here is if this supply level is going to fail, price is going to do this, right? So I am happy to put a stop order under here. Don't take these without testing, because they do sting sometimes. But yeah, I'm going to put a stop order there, right? Cool, I get filled. Price continues in my direction. My risk's off after 4R, right, which is there. So my risk is off in under a minute. You know, like, for me that works brilliantly, right? And then, you know, my target is this, right, the weak low. A little bit below it as well, because there's some old demand there, but that's just going to be a reaction point. Price messes around a fair bit, because this takes days to play out, but just keep shorting it, you know, like, personally, like, why these trades here, they're just pullback trades, right? The pullback trades aren't where the money is. The pro trend trades are where the money is, right? I nearly get taken out twice, but I don't, so all good. And again, what have we had? Well, prices just tanked straight through the low, right? And then it's like, okay, well, what have I got here? Well, here I've got this. I didn't take this trade, so I'm not going to mark it, but it is valid, right? And I've got this, right? My supply range has changed from here to here, right? Yes, there's equals above. Yes, this, that, the other. Structure is bearish, right? Yeah, structure's king, right? Liquidity is confluence, structure is king, right? Right, got this nice buy to sell here, right? Let's go and refine it again. So here, we have this up here, basically this to this. So here we've got this candle and well, we've got this wick up here. So I'd probably just say, okay, that's what I did. Just say, okay, well, that's my whole candle really. If we get up to there and we give any form of reaction, I'm more than happy to take this trade. Right, and again, we had to wait a little while for it, but you know, hey ho, we start forming liquidity all at the lows. Right, yeah, we give a little run down here, right, that's the catalyst for this pullback. But again, structure's still bearish, right? Yes, we've had a change of character. It is not structure. This is the high, right? This high here, until this high gets taken out, right, we are still bearish, right? So here for me, you know, I saw this as, well, we can definitely at this point say we've had a reaction to it. Again, run all this liquidity here. We've got a weak low to target because the low hasn't broken swing structure. So that low is technically liquidity, right, down here. Yes, we've had an aggressive move up, but we've also had an aggressive reaction. Right, so here for me, I went to find the last engulf candle. Yeah, okay, it didn't give church or whatever, but it was reacting to an area I really liked. It gave me an engulf sell to buy. A buy to sell, sorry, so I was happy to look for entries on that, and I'm not committing to taking this level, right? I'm just saying, if it gives me a reaction in there, I'm gonna short it, right? We've run liquidity here, we've got liquidity here again, right? Price forms a little bit of demand, gives a reaction to that demand, reaction fails, gives us a change of character. Where are the lines here, right? So here is our change of character. We have a little bit of interaction via this wick there. Right, I've got all this liquidity to target. Cool, entry. Right, just hit it here. Stop above, you know, stop of a pip that's just around there. Right, and again, what's my target? Well, my minimum target is this low. Right, because that low is liquidity. It's weak. Right, so again, I'm in. Risks off after 4 hours, so I'm not bothered after that. Yeah, price continues to melt. Cool, target reached, brilliant. Right, now again, let's just go and have a look at structure. Well, what's structure doing? Well, structure's bearish again. Right, we haven't taken out this high, so now we have another break of structure here. This is a significant pullback. Right, so our supply range has moved. Right, if you're looking for longs, you're on the wrong side of the market. The market is bearish. Right, like it's that simple. Right, we are looking for pullback trades to go long rather than continuations to go short. Right, continuations, pro trend trading. Like, we don't even have to look to the left. Disregard it. Right, structure's bearish. Until structure changes, keep trading short. Right, then we get this whole thing here. I missed the London sell-off. Right, but again, it's just like now it's just monitoring it again. Right, we've had another break of structure. Right, so we've got another lower high. Sorry. Right, so we've got another lower high here to here, then we get this pullback here. This is, you know, big enough for me to class as structure, right? Oh, guess what? We break that as well, right? Okay, cool. Now we've got a couple of levels to look at. You know, we've got this, but we've had another break of structure. So we're just, again, all we're doing is trading from the lower high. You know, like really, it's really, really simple. In a trending market, trade the lower high or the higher low. That's it. Don't look to run these highs. It's not going to happen. You know, and then cool. Again, I'm just looking for like buy to sell price action. So yeah, we've taken out this range here, but then we formed like another little range here. We can see there's buy to sell price action in here. We can see these wicks. The wicks above as well to a degree, but yeah, these were the wicks that I liked. Well, not even that I liked. It's just what it came to. right? We can go and refine it again, see if there's anything valid within there. Yep, beautiful little 1M OB here. Right, there's stuff up the top too, but it comes to this. Right, and how do we get back up there? Right, well, guess what? Look, we start pulling back correctively. What's going to happen? Right, price pulls back correctively, generates liquidity. This low is weak as anything. We have inducement here. It's just everything we want in a trade, right? Price comes in, and again, for me, it's hit a refined area, so I'm going to go on the seconds. Right, price messes around, creates equal highs, runs those highs, doesn't give us a change of character here. Right, then we can see there's been some form of interaction with this area that ran the high, right? We can see there's interaction there, change of character, so we've got an SD flip, mitigation, charge, change of character, everything's there, right? In every single trade, apart from the one that I just shorted, but yeah, that was, yeah, test that. It doesn't always work at all. It's probably one of the riskier entries that I use, but it does work out sometimes. And yeah, here we go. Right, so this is our supply area. Right, so I didn't put a limit, but yeah, once price comes in, then I can get like a pip stop. I think I got filled around there. But yeah, then price comes back in, fills, and funnily enough, what happens? Well, structure plays out. Right? Like literally, it's that simple. The market, all the market is doing when you are trading a trending market, all the market is doing is this. And it will continue to do that until it does this. Right? And then we'll likely get some form of a pullback to continue the higher time frame intention. Right? Like, don't overcomplicate it. Trade the structure you see. Stop trying to buy into this. Right? This trade is not going to work. This trade is not going to work. This trade is not going to work. The trades that will work are this trade, this trade, this trade, this trade, because the market is doing this. It's all it's doing. Right? No matter what theory you come up with, what, you know, anything you come up with, structure is king. It will play out. You know, like when you're creating new lower highs, those lower highs are protected by billions of dollars. Right? Like billions. Right? You use like $2 trillion there. Imagine how much money it costs to form a lower high. You know, imagine how much has to be pumped into that. Someone is not going to let that lose. Right? So if you're trying to take them out the market with your 15 lots or whatever, it's not going to work. So just trade with them. Trade the structure you see. Alright? Yeah, pretty simple video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will chat to you all